people are having a hard. Don't wait till you're in that dark place. Don't wait till you're in that pit. Before you get down there, reach out to your friends. Say, hey, let's talk. Let's go have some social distancing together. Cool? Hey, again, reach out to mission22.com.
Hi, I'm Nico Marcolongo with the Challenge Athletes Foundation. I'm proud to be here with other nonprofits to support our troops get from the front line to the finish line.
You supported us, now we're supporting you.
Due to copyright laws, we cannot play via Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. If you'd like to listen to our music, feel free to download our MBR app. You can find the app at our website, which is www.mbrradio.us. That's www.MikeBravoRadio.us. Or you can hit us up, iTunes, and Android store. Keep listening. We will be right back. I promise.
In just a few minutes, we will begin adding these artifacts to the molten bronze as we cast an historic bell, the Honor Bell. The inspiration for the Honor Bell was about 3 years ago. I attended a funeral for a World War II veteran, and at the conclusion of the ceremony, there were no military honors given. And so I thought, there's got to be a better way to honor our service members, and certainly our veterans from the greatest generation. We had the concept of putting artifacts from military veterans in the actual bell.
We invited the Honor Bell Foundation from Denver, Colorado to come and watch us cast the first Honor Bell.
Each state line we stopped, we did a dignified transfer of these artifacts from one motorcycle group to the next, until we've gotten all the way here to Cincinnati and the Verdun Foundry, where we did one final dignified transfer.
It was a long journey, but it gave emphasis more to what we were doing and showing that the nation actually appreciated what we were doing.
I donated 2 of my husband's artifacts to the bell, his belt buckle from the Coast Guard and his dog tag from the Coast Guard. I just felt that the Coast Guard with the insignia on it was something that was really special.
We have artifacts from each major war since World War II.
The metal was so hot that it basically just melted those artifacts into the molten metal so that it makes those metals actually a part of the bell.
Working with the Verdun Company has just been an incredible experience for us. They've been working as partners with us all along the way, and without them, we would never have the success that we have now for the first Honor Bell.
It's neat to be able to partner with the Honor Bell Foundation that has this mission.
All right, everybody, and we are back. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, we crashed, but we're back.
We
are back.
You speak French all of a sudden? We
are back, baby.
Man, that was some great tunes on the break, though.
Oh, I know. Uh-oh.
For those of us that couldn't listen in because they're listening through Facebook and whatnot, we can't copyright the music. There's some great tunes. A little bit of Pink Floyd, a little bit of AC/DC, some ZZ Top. Thank you to our friend, the Dirty Canadian, for programming the music for today. Great tunes.
Oh, yes. Yes, Moonlight, thank you so much. And, we got her, we're getting her set up, and I think she's going to be debuting her, you're good, right, Rob?
I'm good.
Okay.
You're okay.
Right.
I'm good.
Okay. She's going to be debuting her, whatchamacallit,
her candy bar? She's debuting a candy bar?
No, she's gonna be debuting her DJ show Friday, I believe.
Oh, like DJ, like spinning tunes kind of thing?
Yeah.
He's got some decent taste for a Canadian, so I'm impressed.
Yeah, but hey, we don't want to fall too long. Now, Rob couldn't join me, but I was able to talk with Christy Gardner, and, well, here Here's Christy Gardner, everybody. I love this interview. All right, everybody. If you're just joining in now, you are listening to the show that highlights all the nonprofit programs out there beyond the VA. You are listening to the HTrain show. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest with us today. She is the current subject of the new book that is taking pre-sales right now as we speak. I have Christy Gardner on the line with us, and she's going to tell us a little bit about her military service, and she's going to tell us a little bit about this new book that is coming out. It's called Lucky Little Guy Big Mission. Chrissy, something.
Talking too much?
Something. No, I ate something earlier and it went down the. So, Chrissy, first of all, thank you so much for giving us your time. I know that you're pretty busy because not only was you in the military, but you're a part of the sled hockey team as well.
Yep. I'm actually part of a whole lot of teams, so it keeps me out of trouble at least.
Well, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us a little bit about your military career, and tell us a little bit about what keeps you busy on right now, other than the book.
All right. Well, I served in the U.S. Army as a military police officer. Unfortunately, I was injured peacekeeping overseas, so I'm missing both legs and a couple of fingers. And I had a traumatic brain injury as well as some other internal stuff. So it took a long time rehabbing, and that was the pretty miserable part of it. But after that, I found out that all the crap that happened to me actually qualifies me for Paralympic sports. I've been an athlete my whole life, even in the military, so this has been an incredible opportunity. I've been on the U.S. women's sled hockey team now for 8 years and assistant captain for the last 3. But I recently moved to Southern California to pursue track and field for this year's Summer Games. So I've been out here at the Olympic Training Center since the start of February. Unfortunately, as of this weekend, we just shut down because of the quarantine. But during my time training here, they suggested I find another hobby because I'm used to being so at home.
Right.
So I started surfing and made the U.S. para-surfing team as well.
Wow. Okay. Well, hey, I tell you what, me and you are a little bit similar. I have traumatic brain injury as well. I was on the Paralympic ski team, and I think I can speak for both of us and say that I joined the Army, and I was in for 10 years, and I never saw anything other than sand, and it took me getting hurt to be a part of a team for me to actually go somewhere like Germany or Sochi or any of those other countries.
Of course, right?
Right. But I'm excited to not only have you on the show, but I'm excited that I've got a new friend, and that's awesome that you do the sled hockey. And I saw some pictures on your Facebook. I see that you're a part of Warrior Games as well.
Yeah, I did the Warrior Games a couple of years ago. That was a blast.
Now, can you only do Warrior Games when you're active duty, or can you do that when you're retired as well?
They do have it for veterans, but it varies a little by the branch and what the policy is that year. But it's typically the team, like the Army team, was only made up 10% veterans, and the rest are active duty.
Okay.
So the point of it is to help people who are wounded, ill, or injured to kind of adapt and find a new passion after they've gone through something traumatic like that. So I only participated once because I've kind of already got all the resources I need out here.
Okay. All right. And so, we have you on here to talk a little bit about your book. I gotta say, first of all, now everybody wants to know. All my listeners are wondering what kind of dog do you have?
In the book or everything else?
Well, your service dog. What kind of dog is it?
My service dog's a golden retriever, and she is hands down the best dog in the world.
Oh,
but I imagine most
whoa.
people say that about
I have a service dog, and we would have to do a test because I believe that my service dog is the best service dog in the world. So me and you are going to have a test when we meet to see whose dog is better. But the book, since you're the subject matter, is it based on you and your service dog? Who's it based on?
It kind of is. So it's based on actually a puppy that was named Lucky.
Okay.
And as one of the many things that I like to do, I'm a puppy raiser for future working dogs.
Okay.
So Lucky is the 10th puppy that I've trained.
Okay.
Lucky was not so lucky when he was born, and unfortunately he was born with a couple of birth defects, and then his mom chewed his umbilical cord too short, so he ended up with this huge hernia too.
Wow. Okay.
So Lucky had a whole lot of medical complications in the beginning. And I was lucky enough that he was given to me for free. And we had some sponsors early on to cover all of his medical care, like VetriScience in Vermont. They're a veterinary supply company or a supplement company.
Okay.
So they do like joint supplements and stuff that my service dog are on. And they basically help pay for Lucky's surgery. He is an amputee now, like me.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Well, I was getting ready to ask you what service dog organization that you got him from, but now I know that, he was kind of given to you and you trained him. Do you find, since you where did you learn how to train the service dogs?
I learned from a couple of different veterans groups that do service dogs. Some for veterans in Maine, and then my girl Moxie went to school in Pennsylvania, but graduated through a training program in Florida called Canines for Warriors.
Okay.
And they've pretty much taught me everything I need to do as far as all the puppy raising, and I've started getting into more of the task training as well now. Before, I just did the puppy raising, and then they went off to the formal training. So Lucky is the first one that I've done all the way through, and now I have my 11th puppy, Douglas Jackson, who started his training about a month ago.
You constantly ask the group for, questions about training service dogs, or is it one of those things, once you learn a bike, you'll always know how to ride a bike? Or do you constantly have to ask questions on new things to teach the dog? Or
it varies a little bit. I think I've been in the service dog world long enough to learn the basic tasks for each type of service dog.
Okay.
And then Lucky's actually a school therapy dog. He's a facility dog. So he had a different skill set there to learn as well. And then you refer back to the organization for any kind of questions that you have come up, or every dog is a little bit different, kind of like every human. So every kid in a classroom might learn a little bit differently. So sometimes I need their help correcting something or altering a training technique.
Okay, fabulous. And so tell us a little bit about this book. Right now you have it under pre-sale, correct?
Yeah, it's supposed to come out, I believe, April 21st.
Okay, April 21st. Fabulous. Because if I'm not mistaken, I'll get with you offline and let you know when this will be aired, because it's going to be aired very, very soon. What experience on this book did you enjoy most? I mean, are you, after this book, Is it one of those, oh, God, thank God this is over, I'm never doing this again? Or was it, oh, this is really fun, I want to do this again? Because currently I'm working with a good friend of mine, Rich Owens, and he's writing my biography about my life. So the thing is going to be really thick. So, and right now I'm like learning different parts of the book, and I can honestly say that after this, I don't think that I'm going to do another book, just because it's so time consuming. What has your experience been?
I'm fortunate that I'm not the main author. I'm just the subject matter expert, I guess you'd say, since it's my life with the puppy.
Okay.
It's been an interesting process to learn about, like paper selection and size and word count and like how all of those variables play into publishing, and then getting the illustrations, and it's just so many moving parts. It's crazy.
So now do you... is the author of the book the same person that did the illustrations, or did you find another person for the illustrations?
We had to hire a separate illustrator because it's a children's book, so it's all, colored kid pictures. It's not photographs. So it's super, super cute, though.
And since you're the subject and you're not really the author or the illustrator, at least I'm assuming you're not, go kind of paint a picture, like tell us the process of doing a book, so that if there are veterans out there that, oh, I want to do a biography or I want to do a storybook, can you explain kind of the process, other than, okay, you gotta find an illustrator, you gotta find a ghostwriter or a person that's willing to be the author, and then you gotta find if it's the plot, or if it's gonna be fiction or nonfiction. Do you have to find a publisher? I mean, can you kind of walk us through the whole process?
Yeah, I'd say basically you've got to start with an idea, but I wouldn't have a finished manuscript yet, because the editors and the publisher and illustrator or art people are going to suggest so many changes. You shouldn't be like super locked into like, this is my dream, this is exactly how it's going to be, because it may not be as marketable, or you may have to make changes. Like we had to change, I think, the paper type once, and then the size overall once, so that it was a more like kid-friendly and publishing-friendly media.
Wow, okay.
So, yeah, so there's a lot of like little tiny nitty-gritty, but for the most part, we had the storyboard idea, and then we had to find a publisher so that we could work with what they needed, and find an illustrator so that they could start working on it, but they had to have our storyboard idea, so that they knew what to work on. So they started with like the cover and stuff while we polished off the story, and then the illustrator took over after that. But in the meantime, we still had to find like sponsors and research paper types and fonts, and decide that we wanted it published here in the U.S., and then how you want sales, because if you sell the book on Amazon, Amazon gets a percentage.
Ah, okay.
So now you've got to talk, like, what's the base cost at the publisher? What's the illustrator cost? If you're going to have friends and family edit it, or maybe you've got an English professor friend that can edit it, versus having to hire someone to do that. There's so many costs that go into building the book. I think after everything was said and done, it cost us like $15,000 to make the book.
Wow. And you don't even know if it's going to be on a bestseller list or anything. It's just it's $15,000, like right there, and you don't even know if it's going to make it or not. Wow, it's almost like a gamble.
It is a big gamble, and like the illustrations. I think the illustrator costs like $6,000. And the pictures are awesome. And because it's a kid's book, there's pictures on every page, of course. So I love that, and I do get to keep some of the images, which is great. But you've got to do that. You've got to pay for the paper that the publisher uses. You've got to pay for their services. So.
Wow. Okay. All right. And was it hard to find a publisher?
That actually wasn't too bad. I was surprised how many small-scale publishers there are in every state.
Okay. All right. So it was kind of like a one-stop shop. You asked the publisher, and you're like, yeah, we'll do it. Or did you go and like get quotes, like how much it is going to charge for everything? Or was you involved in that process?
Thank God the other author or the main author took care of all of that part. I just got to kind of approve things.
Okay.
It's like when your spouse picks out the cake in the wedding venue and you're like, yep, sure. That works.
Perfect. Well, we are running out of time, and we before we ask the big question, if somebody wants to follow the Facebook page of this book, or if you have a public page or Twitter or anything like that, go ahead and share that so that my listeners can follow you and they can watch the progress. They can join you on your journey, especially since you're planning on doing the Summer Games.
Definitely. Unfortunately, it's postponed until next year, but at least we'll get there. We got extra time for training.
Hey,
but yeah, folks can follow me.
It gives them a year to follow you and understand you even more.
Exactly. But yeah, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at CLGardner19. And you can follow the puppy's story at Little Guy Big Mission on Facebook. He's got his own page, and they followed him all the way through. Proceeds from the book sale actually fund my training of more service dogs, or purchasing and getting the service dogs' medical expenses. I do all the training voluntarily.
All right, fabulous. All right, and here we go. This, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we call, Christy, your time to shine. Maybe I didn't ask you the right question or set you up for that right answer, and you want to add something that I didn't even touch on about the book, about your Paralympic journey, about your military background. This is the time to share what you would like any of my listeners to learn about you.
Couldn't have asked me that earlier. Now I have to think. No, just really that there are so many veterans out there in need of service dogs and properly trained dogs. So if we can get more awareness about what the proper training is, and then more resources for folks to be able to obtain a proper service dog, I think that would be outstanding.
All right, there you have it, everybody. If you missed this interview, that's okay. You can check it up. You can check it on the podcast that comes on right after the show ends today. Once again, we have been talking to the subject matter of the brand new book that's fixing to come out April 21st, Lucky Little Guy Big Mission, Christy Gardner. All right, everybody. So, everybody that has bared with us and that is still listening, if you missed it earlier, we had a little bit of a problem. Honestly, I don't know why, but the laptop that does the video, it crashed. But we are up and running again. We are going to go on a music break. And when we come off of that music break, it is that time. It is going to be the What The segment, Mr. Know-It-All. So if you want a good laugh, listen to some of our callers that call in and see what they say. So whatever you do, stay with us. Don't go away. You're listening to the show that highlights all the nonprofit programs out there beyond the VA. You're listening to the HTrain Show.
Tee It Up for the Troops is a national nonprofit organization who uses the game of golf to help veterans as they transition from the battlefield to the home front. Our mission at Tee It Up for the Troops is to honor, remember, respect, and support all those who have served in the armed forces for the United States of America. Whether they've been injured or they're suffering from some of the invisible wounds of war, we want them to know that we stand ready to help them as they take that next step in life.
I mean, I have focused more after being on a golf course. I'm generally happier, and I owe it all actually to this organization. I mean, I really wouldn't be where I'm at physically and mentally and quite frankly emotionally if it hadn't been for meeting and getting to know people in this organization.
As these military men and women return to their communities, we want them to know that there are great organizations out there to help them make that transition. And with our many connections to veteran service organizations around the country, we can make a positive difference for America's veterans and our military families. Tee It Up for the Troops looks to support our veterans and military families through 6 key areas of support: suicide prevention, PTSD and traumatic brain injury treatments, employment and career pathing, sports and golf rehabilitation, housing and homelessness, and family and caregiver support. With your help and our many connections to veteran service organizations across the country, we can make a positive difference in the lives of these American veterans.
Common Ground Golf Course looks like a postcard. The USGA thought so much of this championship layout, they made it the companion course for the 2012 U.S. Amateur. Last fall, Common Ground was the victim of Mother Nature and the floods that devastated Aurora. Today, it reopened to the public. One of the best deals in Colorado is back in play.
Just the fact that we're back out here and able to play the full course today is amazing.
Dave Troyer has a bounce in his step. He's the director of golf at Common Ground Golf Course. 8.5 months ago, you needed a boat to navigate some of its fairways.
For 3.5 weeks, we had 6 to 8 feet of water on half the golf course, and it was a devastating blow to everything that we built over the last 5 years here.
September's floods gave new meaning to the term water hazard.
Once it drained off, everything was dead. We had to go through the whole process of regrassing everything down there. You know, we resodded 5 greens, reseeded 6.5 fairways.
In the golf business, that's tough to swing.
Being closed, you know, the hard costs and the lost revenue over the time, it was over $1 million hit for us.
Golfers were forced to make do on a modified 9-hole layout. But there's good news. The grass is finally greener on the other side.
Going from water to brown, dead grass to what you see today in such a short time is amazing. Now that we're going to get some 80-degree weather, it'll just explode. And as you can see, it looks like it's in phenomenal condition already, so we're ready to go.
The comeback is nearly complete.
We're going to play winter rules on these for the first month, 6 weeks. We'll see what it takes. I would say it would be middle end of the summer before it matches the conditions of the rest of the course. Can't beat the tees and can't beat the greens, and you can always find a good lie in the fairway.
One of Common Ground's missions is to give a championship experience at an affordable price. If you're a golfer, you need to check it out. Thank you to Dave, Andy, and Arthur for letting
Project Sanctuary helps reconnect military families so our nation's heroes can finally come home. Find out how you can help at projectsanctuary.us.
Hands down, this has been the best week of my entire life.
This organization is absolutely fantastic.
I was just blown away.
Incredible time with awesome brothers.
I really had no idea how much this was going to do for me.
I'm happy. It's been just a blessing.
These last few days have been awesome, sharing my story and riding with people who still care.
What a great opportunity to be here with your brothers and connect, talking to each other about shared experiences and getting able to sort of unload in a group of people that you're immediately comfortable with.
Some of our problems are all very much the same.
We're all in it together.
This program has just an amazing value.
It's really helped me look at myself as well as see others that are in the same situation that I've been in.
I think I finally recognized my worth.
I can't tell you, how meaningful I think the workshops, the camaraderie, and the discussions, and the writing that we've had have been for me.
The bonding with the other guys has been just as good, if not better, than the riding.
It's like we've almost all known each other for a long time.
11, incredible dudes from all parts of the country, with similar experiences, similar background, similar affinity for motorcycles.
Learn more about each other and how to deal with the stresses of life.
The depth of that relationship is absolutely amazing to me.
These people now, they'll be brothers for the rest of my life.
This organization is extremely valuable.
We'll always have this, always be able to connect with these guys that kind of get what it is to be a veteran.
Taking home a lot of gratitude.
One of the best weeks of my entire life. I thank everybody for participating.
I just can't say thank you enough.
I think you've saved a lot of lives.
I enlisted, ready to serve, ready to defend, but my fight has just begun.
Help this hero win his fight. Visit hopeforthewarriors.org
My name is
today.
Kirk Bauer. I'm Executive Director of Disabled Sports USA.
I was in the infantry, in the Delta region.
It was an explosion. It flipped me over. I could tell I'd been hit bad. I spent 6 months in the hospital. Some veterans came to me. They had actually just begun an organization of disabled Vietnam vets and 10th Mountain Division World War II vets. When someone becomes disabled, the process of getting back into life, to regaining your confidence, to regaining your hope, to being a full participant in society is not an easy one. It's not a straight line. It's a struggle. It's a day-to-day struggle. I can't think of a better example than the young warrior that I went up Kilimanjaro with, Neil Duncan. He had been blown up in the highlands of Afghanistan. His 2 legs were off. He was breathing through a tube in his neck. You talk about a guy who's on the edge of death, who was just about finished. Neil Duncan was that man. When he finally got out of the hospital and we got him involved in sports, in his exuberance, Neil decided he was going to climb Kilimanjaro, and he just joined up with a group that didn't know anything about disabilities. They moved him too fast. He got up to 16,000 feet and couldn't make it any further. He was defeated. He had to come back. He said it was the hardest decision he ever made. He came to me and said, Kirk, I have failed and I can't live with myself. I know I can do the mountain, but we have to do it right. Will Disabled Sports USA help me?
Mind strong, body strong, try to find equilibrium.
Sometimes it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back. You are going to face situations where you're going to be disappointed or discouraged or defeated. Don't let that stop you. Pick yourself back up and go on. And Neil made it to the top.
We'll be right back. You're listening to the best station that plays today's hits and today's connections to help our military transition to civilian life. Keep watching. Due to copyright laws, we cannot play via Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. If you'd like to listen to our music, feel free to download our MBR app. You can find the app at our website, which is www.mbrradio.us. That's www.mikebravoradio.us. Or you can hit us up, iTunes, and Android store. Keep listening. We will be right back. I promise. We'll be right back. You're listening to the best station that plays today's hits and today's connections to help our military transition to civilian life. Keep watching. Due to copyright laws, we cannot play via Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. If you'd like to listen to our music, feel free to download our MBR app. You can find the app at our website, which is www.mbrradio.us. That's www.mikebravoradio.us. Or you can hit us up, iTunes, and Android store. Keep listening. We will be right back. I promise. We'll be right back. You're listening to the best station that plays today's hits and today's connections to help our military transition to civilian life. Keep watching. Due to copyright laws, we cannot play via Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. If you'd like to listen to our music, feel free to download our MBR app. You can find the app at our website, which is www.mbrradio.us. That's www.mikebravoradio.us. Or you can hit us up, iTunes, and Android store. Keep listening. We will be right back. I promise. We'll be right back. You're listening to the best station that plays today's hits and today's connections to help our military transition to
All right, everybody, and we are back. You're listening to the show that highlights all the nonprofit programs out there beyond the VA. You're listening to the HTrain show, and it is that time, Rob. Can you guess what time it is?
Time for dinner?
No, it is time for the What the segment.
Those are cool tats, man.
Oh, for real. Thank you, bro. You see the Cobra?
And what is this one?
Oh, this?
Uh-huh.
That's my credo. No regrets.
Mm-hmm. You have no regrets?
Dad?
Nope. Like not even a single letter?
No way. Not me.
Well, I love him. I think he's great.
Okay.
I think he's a real winner, Casey. If I were you, I wouldn't use protection.
What the? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so welcome to our first Mr. Know-It-All show. Yes, indeed. So, once again, that phone number is 720-619-0627. We're going to be taking your calls time now, and we have our first caller, Rob. Caller, you are, who are we talking to? You are on the HTrain show.
Hey there, HTrain. Yeah, you got me here? You got me?
I do.
Okay.
Thank you for calling.
Oh, absolutely. It's an honor to be on the show. You know, a long-time listener, first-time caller here. My name is Greg. I am divorced twice, and I live in a double wide down here. So, Mr. HTrain, I got a question for you, Mr. Know-It-All.
Okay. All right. Shoot.
Okay. So with the coronavirus going on, you see, so I'm trying to find my I have a mask, but I don't think it's great because I'm getting a lot of negative feedback, if you will.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So when I I got to go to the local Walmart here to get my daily case of Busch Light, and when I walk in, I feel like an out of shape vein when I'm wearing the dang mask there. But I'm getting a lot of comments about a heavy flow, and I have no idea what that's about. But it doesn't fit right, and it when I breathe into it, it's not very ventilated, and it gets real heavy and starts falling off my face, so I feel bad,
Okay, all right. So, kind of tell us the construction like? What materials are you making? Because we know that masks right now are very hard to come by, and I mean, Rob, you go to any store, you can't buy them. So a lot of people are
I'm
making them.
amazed that the caller was able to find a place to buy masks.
Right.
Greg, where did you buy these
where
masks?
I'm finding my mask, I actually went under the sink, and lo and behold, there were some masks down there in a little box. So they're packaged nice and sealed, so I imagine they're sanitary, right? And then I open them up, and they got these nice flower patterns on them. I'm sure that's because that's the scent that they are. You know, I'm not sure the difference between a orchid and a lilac, but you know, I imagine they smell kind of like that.
Huh? You have scented masks. Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, I imagine so. That's what it smells like in there. But like I said, it's not very ventilated, so I can't really smell anything else.
I don't suppose in the back of the box it tells you that you can go like horseback riding and swim.
No,
and
it's not wet. Only when I breathe into it, it gets real wet. And then, like I said, it falls off my face.
Huh.
Okay.
It's kind of an oblong. It's white. It's oblong, and kind of it's got little tabs on the sides. Maybe that's for wider mouths. Maybe.
Could be.
What do you have? What do you have holding it onto your face? Because I'm guessing you made this, or?
Oh no, it just kind of sticks there. It's got the stuff. It just sticks right on there, you know.
Huh.
And it sits right on the face there.
Wow.
It's real nice construction there, you know.
That is. Well, I mean, lucky you finding these masks when other people. Have you thought about seeing if any healthcare workers could use any of these?
No, I have not. I haven't really asked, but I do get kicked out of a lot of stores. See, they're telling me that's not a mask.
What?
Now, I'm wondering what the heck's on my face then, because it looks like a mask, it feels like a mask, but people are telling me it ain't a mask, and I still don't understand the heavy flow.
Okay.
What does that mean?
Okay, so when you're all right, so when you go into these stores and when you go into these stores and you get kicked out, like, can you share some of the comments that they give you? That they give you
Well, the most I get is the heavy flow, and people, you know, that's the biggest thing, and definitely I get a very negative reaction from women, and they don't like it at all, and I just don't understand it.
They don't like it at all.
I do have a girlfriend. I know how to work the ladies a little bit.
Okay, all right. Do you have a wife or a girlfriend?
Yeah, just my girlfriend. Like I said, divorced twice. They're in the past. I don't know where they're at. And then now I got a girlfriend who lives with me.
Are they her masks?
Oh no, no. That ain't her. I tell you that much. I'm wearing the King Tiger there.
Have you showed your girlfriend this mask? Has she gave you any input on what the issue might be?
Well, no. Here, let me see. I think I can go into the sink right now. Let's figure it out here. Hold on. Yeah, right here on the thing, masky pads. See, the masky pads. That's what it is. Look at it. Hey, what are these things?
Okay, so caller.
Greg.
Unfortunately, what you
maxi pad? What's a maxi pad, HTrain?
Well, a maxi pad is.
What is it?
A maxi pad is. I feel like I'm talking to my 6-year-old about sex. What you have there, caller, is you have a device that women use. Usually a month to kind of protect themselves for
lady protection
for when they sweat.
When they sweat.
Yes, when they sweat.
You're here, H.
Yes.
When they sweat. You put this under your arms.
Well, I'm trying to keep this radio friendly, but no, you don't.
Oh Lord.
You don't put it.
Oh my God.
You don't put it under your arms.
Oh my.
Well, you.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
What?
Thanks, HTrain. Oh no.
did we answer your question?
Oh man, this is bad. This is real bad. I'm getting yelled at. This ain't good. I gotta go. I'm gonna sleep with a dog tonight. I tell you that much. You answered the question. Yeah. Is this live?
No.
Oh God, this ain't live. Okay.
No.
Don't want my other girlfriend to hear this one.
No, we'll edit all this. Don't you worry, Greg.
Greg, thank you so much for calling. We appreciate it.
I gotta go. Please don't air this.
All right.
Bye. Thanks again. Great time.
Bye.
How did I fall into this job? This is the best job ever, dude. How did this happen?
Oh my God.
I love this job.
I was trying to make him so that he didn't feel so embarrassed.
Ladies use it once a month when they sweat. You're not allowed to talk to my teenagers. That's all I'm saying, dude. Sit down and let Uncle H tell you about what maxi pads are for, kids.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Let's just check the messages on the phone. Yeah. Oh, look at that. 4 messages in the last second. Can't imagine what those are about, H.
Okay. Well, hey, look. I was trying to keep this radio friendly, and I don't know if people want their, we have daughters and stuff listening to this show, so I don't know if they wanted to. I don't know if parents wanted to explain to them about what is it? Unsanitary napkins, is that what they call it? We're not even going to use the name.
Yeah, you should definitely use that. That's the term you want to use.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
Remember that we talked about that was listening earlier? He's still listening.
Okay. Well, so, ladies and gentlemen, that is kind of the conclusion of, let's see if we have any more callers, if they have any questions. That number is 720-619-0627. Let's see if we get any more characters, shall we?
I love the way Greg talked about it. He's like, I live in the double wide here at the trailer park. I mean, yep. No kidding.
Oh man. Well, I tell you what, until we get a caller, I got to say,
hit me.
I got a message today on Facebook. Did you hear about the 2 students that from Carrollton High School that got suspended because they aired a racist video on TikTok? Have you heard about that yet, Rob?
I have not.
Okay.
I'm not a TikToker.
So I'm just gonna throw this out there because this is the what the segment. All right, this is just my thoughts. All right. I do believe that there is racism here in the United States. We all can agree on that.
Sure.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I do believe that there are particular places that are even more racist than certain places. Okay? So in other words, like if you're here in Denver, or in Aurora area where I live, okay, and me and my neighbor next door, me and him talked about that, don't assume that somebody is racist, that's the big thing. Don't assume.
Okay.
You know, it could be that they're just rude. It might not be that they're racist. But if they live in Georgia, now I was stationed at Fort Stewart, Georgia for a good 3 years, maybe 4. I kind of forget. Okay.
What that city? Savannah,
Yes,
Georgia.
yes. I will tell you that when I was there, that place was racist.
Really?
Yeah.
And this is coming from a bald white guy. So tell me this story. Why do you say that?
Just how I looked at it. I looked how white people treated black people and black people treated white people, and it wasn't one-sided. Like, I saw it on both measures. I saw black people being racist to white people. I saw white people being racist to black people, and you know, and there's different parts in Georgia that are just extremely racist. And Missouri, you know, my dad was talking about this. Missouri is home of where the Bald Knobbers was created, and that whole thing. I forget what city that was that had that big old riot. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't think so.
They had a big riot after they declared that the officer was not guilty of all charges of
You're
killing that
talking about
kid.
Missouri, where what was the guy's name that got shot by the police officer? Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I
Right.
remember the case.
So, like, that area right there, that is super racist. And there's just different places in the United States that are more racist than others. I particularly don't think that Aurora here in Colorado is that racist, but other places I do believe it. Well, anyways, yeah, Ferguson. Owen, thank you. So the reason why I bring this up is there was 2 kids that got on. Talk about stupidity. There was 2 kids that got on a video that did a TikTok video.
Okay.
And you can look it up, Carrollton high school students, and it's on YouTube. If you miss anything, like on TV, a commercial, anything, everything is on YouTube. Okay. But if you look at it, it's like these kids are stupid. These kids are dumb. You know, first of all, look, it's your freedom to think how you want, think how you like, speak how you want. But just because we have freedom of speech doesn't mean that we don't have freedom of consequences.
I agree. Yes. To your earlier point about dumb kids, I would tell you that, you know, spending my time as a recruiter, that a lot of them are the decisions they make. You and I were, when we were teenagers, we were dopes.
Yeah.
We made stupid decisions constantly. But we had good parent figures that would grab us by the back of our shirt collar and give us a shake if we screwed it up.
That's true.
And yeah. I made a lot of dumb mistakes when I was a teenager.
I did too. I
yeah.
did too. Let me tell you.
Thankfully, I met a man in a very large, round, brown hat named Staff Sergeant Janes. And that dude, yeah, he shook the idiocy out of me, and PT'd the idiocy out of me. So, yeah, I was still dumb, but I didn't make as dumb decisions because they didn't affect just me anymore.
But I will tell you this, before we go on music break, because we're getting ready to go on music break, and we'll be coming back on for the Facebook discussion. Before we go on music break, I will say this. You know, about 3 or 4 years ago, Mr. Morgan, I can't remember his first name. You probably know who I'm talking about.
let's stick with Mr., but go ahead, I'm listening.
Yeah, he said, and I believe him correctly. People of America, if you want to stop racism, quit talking about it. Quit talking about, Black History Month, White History Month, Mexican History Month. Quit talking about it. But I also honestly think that there's more racist cities and states than usual. But that's just my opinion. But we are gonna go on a music break, and when we come off the music break, it is that time. We will be hitting to the Facebook Live discussion. And Rob, what's that discussion about?
Find out why everybody's wishing us a happy 420.
Yeah, right? So whatever you do, stay with us. Don't go away. You're listening to the HTrain show right here on the show that highlights all the nonprofit programs out there beyond the VA.
Hi, my name is Star Baxter, and I grew up in rural Nebraska. When I was 19, I joined the United States Marine Corps and served as a military police officer from 1997 to 2005. Yes, I deployed to Kuwait and Iraq, and I saw firsthand, like many others, the toils of true hate that comes with war. I often just shook my head in disbelief, unable to comprehend what was happening to me mentally.
When I came home, my mom came to visit me and insisted that I had changed and was different. Honestly, that just pissed me off more. But as time passed, I realized I had changed. The biggest realization came in March of 2005, when I took my then 5-year-old daughter to Disneyland for her birthday. We got our tickets at the gate and then entered the park. Main Street was packed. We made it about 100 feet into the park, and already 5 people had pushed or shoulder bumped us. I felt my blood pressure rising and wanted everyone to just back away. When I felt a squeeze of my hand and I looked down, my daughter looked up at me with a smile and said, "Mom, are you okay? Let's just go to the beach." I was divorced and in the middle of a custody battle. I wanted to go home to Nebraska to be with family to help me, but I was court-ordered to stay in California or give up custody of my daughter, so I was forced to go through my pain alone. I self-isolated, I drank a lot, and when I did land a civilian job, I struggled with personal interactions and could not comprehend the seemingly laid-back laziness of people in general. In 2011, I was finally able to move to Colorado to be closer to family and my sister. With the help and encouragement of my sister, I started to get back to my roots of horses. It started simple, a ride here and there, helping her clean horses or helping muck stalls. Then I was asked to go to one of the shows and show a horse for our friend Brenda. She put me on a horse named Silky. Silky was patient and kind and guided me through that show. The following year, I married my now husband, Wade Davis, and we purchased 10 acres. I purchased a horse and started working with her to get back to showing myself. I discovered that with horses, I was able to go to events and be around groups of people. Being on top of a horse, no one would crowd around near you, and if someone did get too close for comfort, I'd just lie to them and say my horse kicks. They move really quick when you say that. Also, I was able to focus on my horse and not myself and my own anxieties about being around people. Slowly over the last 5 years, people have asked for my assistance and guidance to help them and their horses. I learned that I really enjoy helping those who want help and coaching. I push others to work hard and to be the best that they can be. My coaching is focused on the sport of extreme trail riding or obstacle challenges, and I often joke that it's called stupid human tricks with horses, but in reality it's a sport in which a very high level of trust and partnership needs to be in place in order to be competitive. A rider must trust that their horse will take care of them, and a horse needs to trust that the rider will not put them in a bad situation. It truly is about overcoming obstacles in life and in the arena. Photography was always a little hobby of mine. Taking pictures, I could essentially hide behind the camera and did not have to socialize with anyone. In 2018, at an obstacle challenge, I was just randomly taking pictures, and I posted a few on Facebook. Those pictures got noticed, and with the help and encouragement of a few close friends, I agreed to take official pictures at an event, and to my disbelief, people actually paid me money for them. In the last 2 years, I have launched a website to advertise and promote my photography and offer horsemanship coaching. My goal and hope is that through my passions, horses, photography, and coaching, I can help others so they do not have to struggle alone like I did.
We'll be right back. You're listening to the best station that plays today's hits and today's connections to help our military transition to civilian life. Keep watching. Due to copyright laws, we cannot play via Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. If you'd like to listen to our music, feel free to download our MBR app. You can find the app at our website, which is www.mbrradio.us. That's www.MikeBravoRadio.us. Or you can hit us up, iTunes, and Android store. Keep listening. We will be right back. I promise.
7 months ago was the first laser engraving I did. Didn't know what I wanted to do as far as my art. I used to hand carve, custom carve all the time. I was so excited. I opened it up, I plugged it all in, and I go, how do I get a picture onto something from this now? Wood is really unique in what it offers. It offers different characteristics, and I love the smell of it. I love the feel of it. Wood is just gorgeous. My friends look at it, they've always known that I've had an artistic side and that I really enjoy art. I enjoy doing different things. Wood has a story to tell, just like anybody's life. When I'm driving down the road, if I see an old cedar tree that's dead, I try to grab it. People have a lot of memories and photographs. They have a lot of things that tell a lot about their life, people that are in their life currently, people that aren't in their life any longer. I always worked with art. I always built tables, water features, did custom artwork. I was on the road all the time. Wanted to do something where I could spend time with my wife and my family without traveling all the time. And this seemed like a nice segue to open the store, sell custom furniture, make custom furniture, and do the custom laser engraving. I have a theory. Most people don't know how to tell you what they want, but they know what they like when they see it. I want to end up getting better and better every single day with what I do.
We'll be right back. You're listening to the best station that plays today's hits and today's connections to help our military transition to civilian life. Keep watching. Due to copyright laws, we cannot play via Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. If you'd like to listen to our music, feel free to download our MBR app. You can find the app at our website, which is www.mbrradio.us. That's www.MikeBravoRadio.us. Or you can hit us up, iTunes, and Android store. Keep listening. We will be right back. I promise. We'll be right back. You're listening to the best station that plays today's hits and today's connections to help our military transition to civilian life. Keep watching. Due to copyright laws, we cannot play via Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. If you'd like to listen to our music, feel free to download our MBR app. You can find the app at our website, which is www.mbrradio.us. That's www.MikeBravoRadio.us. Or
hey, it's Rob with the Colorado State leader for Mission 22. Practicing social distancing today out on the road. I understand for a lot of us that with no gym being open, no jiu-jitsu going on, I know it's a challenging time right now for a lot of folks. You're looking for that community, you're looking for something. Reach out. You know the number, 303-301-5052. You can call that number anytime. I will answer. I know a lot of people are having a hard time. Reach out to your friends. Don't wait till you're in that dark place. Don't wait till you're in that pit. Before you get down there, reach out to your friends. Say, hey, let's talk. Let's go have some social distancing together. Cool? Hey, again, reach out to mission22.com.
Hi, I'm Nico Marcolongo with the Challenge Athletes Foundation. I'm proud to be here with other nonprofits to support our troops get from the front line to the finish line.
You supported us, now we're supporting you.
Due to copyright laws, we cannot play via Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. If you'd like to listen to our music, feel free to download our MBR app. You can find the app at our website, which is www.mbrradio.us. That's www.mikebravoradio.us. Or you can hit us up, iTunes, and Android store. Keep listening. We will be right back. I promise.
Just a few minutes, we will begin adding these artifacts to the molten bronze as we cast an historic bell, the Honor Bell.
The inspiration for the Honor Bell was about 3 years ago. I attended a funeral for a World War II veteran, and at the conclusion of the ceremony, there were no military honors given. And so I thought, there's got to be a better way to honor our service members, and certainly our veterans from the greatest generation. We had the concept of putting artifacts from military veterans in the actual bell.
We invited the Honor Bell Foundation from Denver, Colorado to come and watch us cast the first Honor Bell.
Each state line we stopped, we did a dignified transfer of these artifacts from one motorcycle group to the next, until we've gotten all the way here to Cincinnati and the Verdun Foundry, where we did one final dignified transfer.
It was a long journey, but it gave emphasis more to what we were doing and showing that the nation actually appreciated what we were doing.
I donated 2 of my husband's artifacts to the bell, his belt buckle from the Coast Guard and his dog tag from the Coast Guard. I just felt that the Coast Guard with the insignia on it was something that was really special.
We have artifacts from each major war since World War II.
The metal was so hot that it basically just melted those artifacts into the molten metal. So,
Water, you're listening to the HTrain show.
Okay, and we are back. You're listening to the show that highlights all the nonprofit programs out there beyond the VA. You're listening to the HTrain show. And Rob is with me, and I tell you
not
what,
with you, but with you, but not with you.
Hey,
We're together, but we're not really together, if you know what I mean.
Hey, I gotta say, man, other than the computer crash, I think the show has went pretty good today.
I've been amazing. You've done okay.
You always are amazing.
But I sound incredible. Dude, I'm really grooving on the new commercials. I like the new commercials. I love the bell. I love the new commercials. I'd love to get some more of those out there.
Oh, I would too. Because, I don't want to play the same commercials over and over and over again, but it's real easy. I had a Facebook Live thing today on it. If you're a struggling business, I've sent a couple of businesses that I've talked to. I sent them your way. You don't have to shoot it in HD, people. We shot the Mission 22 commercial on
literally on the side of the highway.
Yeah.
Easy.
You don't have to. It doesn't take much,
It's incredible what you can do with an iPhone.
Yes. Yeah. So take a video of it. Take a video, people, and send me a couple of pictures. And I'm pretty good with editing video. I'm not great at it, but I'm pretty good at editing the video and stuff. So,
I promise you're better at it than I am.
So send that stuff to me. We'll get you set. Because I tell you what, just because we're not an FM station, right now streaming on the app. That's not watching the Facebook, but streaming on the app. We've got 25 people listening.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Around the world.
Around the world. Around the world. And, I didn't even look at the Facebook page. We had a high of like 25 people during the What The segment, which I can totally understand if people tune in just for the comedy portion of the show. I get that. But it is that time, Rob. It is the time for the Facebook Live discussion.
A headline regarding mass awareness of a certain avian variety. What are you talking about? Oh, have you not heard?
Come by and bring us some good news.
Tidbits. Okay, all right. So, Rob is in charge of what we do for the Facebook Live discussion.
In charge? Man, the only thing I'm in charge of around here is running my mouth. In charge.
So,
some great responsibility or something like that.
It is a great responsibility. You should be proud.
Well, I mean, today's a pretty easy one. I mean, I don't understand what the holiday is. And, yeah, we've been getting a whole lot of messages, a lot of text messages, Facebook messages, happy 420, all that stuff. Even if I go to the Facebook Messenger now, there's one from 303 Blaze It, like we talked about.
Yeah.
Happy 420. And I don't. We have looked up and down because we've been getting these messages all morning, on all afternoon. I don't know what the holiday is. I don't know what we're celebrating. So
yes, tell us. That number, text us, or right now, Texas, not Texas, but text
well, you can definitely text us.
720-619-0627, or we are on the Facebook page. Let us know what is 420.
What is the holiday that we're missing here?
I don't get it.
It's got to be like the Audubon Society or Earth Day or something like that, because everybody's posted a picture of like tree leaves and stuff like that. So yeah, apparently it's very, very popular here in Colorado, because most of the messages we've been getting have been from here in Colorado. So I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I thought I was good with history, but I don't know what we're talking about here.
All right, come on, people. Come on. Help us out. Tell us, what is this? What is this 420 you speak of?
You speak of here in the Denver metro area.
You speak of. I've never, I'm from Indiana. I never even heard of this 420 thing. And then I come here, and then it's all over the place. But then again, to be truthful, I didn't even know what Cinco de Mayo was until I came here to Colorado. Indiana, we don't even celebrate that.
Sink what? What is it? The sink has mayo?
Yeah, the sink has mayo.
What are you going on about there, man?
Cinco de Mayo is like a Mexican Independence Day or something like that.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
They don't celebrate the 4th of July?
Well, in Indiana, they don't.
Huh.
Well, the 4th of July they do. I don't know if Mexico celebrates 4th of July or not.
Well, it sounds like we need to plan a trip to Mexico on July 3rd and find out.
No, what we need to do is plan a trip to Vegas when this whole thing blows over, because our remote trip that we had scheduled for June, the flight thing, that got canceled, unfortunately. That really
handle
bummed
broadcasting
me out.
live from Vegas.
Huh?
I said I could handle broadcasting live from Vegas.
We all was.
That could be good stuff, man.
But then this had to happen. Thanks, China.
Yeah, China.
Yeah. Okay, well,
So nobody's going to help us out.
I guess nobody's going to help us out and explain to us what 420 is.
Hang on, it looks like there's a text here from Eric with an A.
Okay.
Let's see. It's National Pot Smoking Day.
Okay, so if it's National Pot Smoking Day, I'm getting a bunch of messages. If it's National Pot Smoking Day,
Well, how is it?
explain to me why is it what's the significance of 420?
Oh, dude, maybe Eric with an A could explain that to us. I mean, he's just National Pot Smoking Day. April 20th was Weed Day. Some sort of date corresponds with the numerical code for marijuana. Yes, it seems. How did the number 420 come into California Penal Code. Some claim the number is drawn from the California criminal codes used to punish the use or distribution of marijuana. That's not it.
So does that mean is that the police code for we've got a stoner?
Neither LAPD nor NYPD even have a code 420. San Francisco police have one, but it's for juvenile disturbance, so that's not it. Bob Dylan song.
So why would you celebrate a police code for getting in trouble?
Dude, I don't know, man. I just retired from the Army, man. I have no idea. Clearly, I've never smoked weed. How would I know?
Oh, man.
My friends did once. I mean, I was probably in Bible study or something. I don't know.
All right. With that being said, we're going to jump to the best part of the show, everybody. Thanks for everybody's input. Not.
Thanks, Eric with an A.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is that time. It is Tribute to the Troops.
All day long. Tribute to Troops. Sponsored by High Style NXT. Custom quality furnishings and gifts with attitude.
This is an MBR moment of heroism.
Sir, I don't know how to tell this story.
Well, you got to, Joe. You tell the American people what these men did here. You tell them how my troopers died.
Captain Douglas Lynn Hickok joined the New Jersey National Guard as a direct commission due to his skill set in the medical field in 2010. His combined time in his profession in the medical field was 28 years. He was involved in trauma surgery and medicine. In March of this year, Captain Hickok was preparing to activate with his Guard unit to assist with the coronavirus pandemic. He became sick and was hospitalized on March 21st, 2020 with the coronavirus. He succumbed to the virus on March 28th, 2020. He is the first service member to pass away from the coronavirus. He is survived by his wife and 2 children. On behalf of MBR and everyone here at the HTrain show, our hearts and prayers go out to the family. And as always, thank you for your service and sacrifice. Captain Douglas Lynn Hickok, end of watch, March 28th, 2020.
first of all, before we go on a music break, me and Rob sit here and we joke about the coronavirus, because we're trying to put some smiles on people's face, laugh. We already know that we're kind of silly sometimes, but in all due seriousness, everybody be careful out there.
Mm-hmm.
And Chris East, thank you so much for doing the tribute to Troop. And Amanda, thank you so much for researching it. She puts a lot of work into the researching, and she's just been really good as a station manager. Never have done it before ever, Rob. And I think she's doing really good. Me and her are gonna. I'm gonna start putting a little bit more tasks on her plate once she gets everything, competitive, really good routinely. Right now, she's doing great.
I can't imagine you giving her more work to do. That's amazing to me.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, the only reason why I give you so much work, Rob, is because you keep telling me, I'm good, I got this. I got this.
And you keep believing me.
Right? Oh, boy. All
Amanda,
right.
well done. That was a pretty moving tribute to the troops right there, man. That's a real gut punch.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and for those families out there that have suffered a loss due to this evil virus, we can't even begin to tell you how sorry we are for your loss. And, if you message us and let us know, we might not do a tribute to Troop, but we'll certainly do a tribute. We'll say the name, or something. Like I said on the video today, we're not a nonprofit just for veterans. We want to be the radio station for this community. We're not about money. All of us volunteer our time, and this is the best platform to get information out. And if you are in the DIA area, we are on the FM 89.1. So, and if you listen to our broadcast, just so you know, every Thursday we are on Social Justice KNSJ 89.1 San Diego. So
live in New York, live in San Diego, and live here in the center of the country.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes. So we're putting out some good information. But for everybody, it is that time. It is time for the music break. When we come back, the show is almost over. So find out what me and Rob learned today, and find out who we're talking with next week. You're listening to the show that highlights all the nonprofit programs out there beyond the VA. You're listening to the HTrain Show.
Hey, it's Rob with the Colorado State.
Tee It Up for the Troops is a national nonprofit organization who uses the game of golf to help veterans as they transition from the battlefield to the home front. Our mission at Tee It Up for the Troops is to honor, remember, respect, and support all those who have served in the armed forces for the United States of America. Whether they've been injured or they're suffering from some of the invisible wounds of war, we want them to know that we stand ready to help them as they take that next step in life.
I have focused more after being on a golf course. I'm generally happier. And I owe it all actually to this organization. I really wouldn't be where I'm at physically and mentally and quite frankly emotionally if it hadn't been for meeting and getting to know people in this organization.
As these military men and women return to their communities, we want them to know that there are great organizations out there to help them make that transition. And with our many connections to veteran service organizations around the country, we can make a positive difference for America's veterans and our military families. Teed Up for the Troops looks to support our veterans and military families through 6 key areas of support: suicide prevention, PTSD and traumatic brain injury treatments, employment and career pathing, sports and golf rehabilitation, housing and homelessness, and family and caregiver support. With your help and our many connections to veteran service organizations across the country, we can make a positive difference in the lives of these American veterans.
Common Ground Golf Course looks like a postcard.
We'll be right back. You're listening to the best station that plays today's hits and today's connections to help our military transition to civilian life. Keep watching. Due to copyright laws, we cannot play via Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. If you'd like to listen to our music, feel free to download our MBR app.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and you're listening to the show that highlights all the nonprofit programs out there beyond the VA. You're listening to the HTrain show, and we had some participation on the app. We had some participation on the video, and we just wanted to tell the listeners that we really appreciate it. If you like our show, tell a friend.
Well, who doesn't?
If you don't like our show or you have suggestions,
That nobody cares and you're a bad person.
tell me. I'll fix it.
No, man, that's how I end up getting fired. What are you doing?
Oh.
What?
Evidently, when you yelled, it was too much for the. It was too much for the mixer.
Uh-oh. Popping fuses, smoke coming out of the thing.
Yeah, we already had the computer crash one time today.
I'll take credit for that. Thank you.
Oh, man. So, I think it was a really good, great show today. Before we go to 2-minute warning, we're going to recap. Before we started the show, we talked about, the new platforms that we were on. We were on now Z Live Radio, or maybe it's Z Radio Live. I forget. That's Z Radio something. I keep screwing that up. I'll figure it out. It only took a year and a half to memorize Common Ground Golf Course's tagline. But, we had some great things. Oh, before we go to the 2-minute, you've got to tell everybody about your education. I think that's hilarious.
What are you talking about?
Spanish. This guy is getting an associate's in Spanish, and he can't speak a lick of Spanish. I found out. We went to Taco Bell, and he couldn't order in Spanish.
So yeah, I am finishing up my bachelor's degree at the University of the Incarnate Word, based out of San Antonio, Texas, and I am taking Spanish 2 for the second time, and I am bombing it miserably. So I asked for help from my buddy who, born and raised in El Paso, Texas, speaks fluent Spanish. he helped me with my homework last week, and I got a 25% on my homework.
That's hilarious.
I'm glad you think so. My GPA thinks so too.
Oh, man.
I love that you can laugh at my pain. Thanks.
Students, that is your sign that you can get the same education that we pay $60,000 for a year, or what is it, $60,000 a year? How much you pay for your education if you was paying out of pocket? It doesn't
Expensive
matter.
private school. Yeah, but thank God the United Army pays for it.
Yeah, instead of paying $60,000 a year or whatever for education, ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you YouTube.
If they could just tell me how to conjugate the verb.
Oh, I'm sure that they've got videos on YouTube how to do Spanish. In fact, there's like phone apps. I've got a phone app. You write in something and it translates to Spanish. But watch what you do, because I did that one time and they just looked at me like, I don't understand.
Yeah. Those things don't always work, is all I'm saying. They work about 25% of the time, is what I'm saying, based on my GPA.
Man. Oh, man. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is the 2-minute warning.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition. Strap in.
It's the 2-minute warning. 2-minute warning. What we learned today.
Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained? Sponsored by Common Ground Golf Course in Colorado. A place for all and all the game teaches.
All right, Rob. What did you learn today?
I learned that Greg is my kind of people. I want to party with Greg. If Greg is taking things from underneath his bathroom sink and sticking them on his face, Greg is my kind of people.
I learned that we need a screener. This is the third time this is the third time in the week that we've had a crazy call, man.
Yeah. We should definitely hire a call screener. That could actually be worthwhile. That's a good call.
Yes, for sure. So, yeah. With that being said, I will tell you that go to our MBR page. You'll find the team. You'll find the MBR team. They have testimonials. MBR does a lot of stuff. It doesn't just do this show. It just doesn't do a radio station. It teaches DJs, and I have a class Thursday, if you saw that, Rob.
I did.
So, with that being said, let's get out of here. Next week, we have Joe, your friend. How do you pronounce his last name?
Professor Joe Rosick with Zenith Authentic Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and what he does for veterans.
So, great interview. So be sure to come back and join us next Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, same place, and you can hear that. For everybody else, it is that time. That's the show for today, everyone. Thank you for listening. We'll be back next week with an all-new show, and remember, you can listen to us again and again. The podcast of this radio show is available right after we go off the air tonight. And remember, we're here for you, not for us, giving our veterans a voice.
We'll be right back. You're listening to the best station that plays today's hits